Do you want to keep going? This morning I didn't actually have breakfast because Tim was late to come get me and I had a house inspection and it was lovely.
Yeah, but I was late, so you had more time to eat breakfast.
Yeah. Instead of the usual 65-year-old woman, it was a pretty 22-year-old woman who came and had a 10-second look around the house and then left. And that was it, and I was up mopping at 2 in the morning for that.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Timothy.
Right.
I'm talking. I don't know what else to say. I was late. I slept in. I was meant to be up. I guess this will be the level. This probably, yeah. So welcome to 1300. I'm Tim Winning with my host, Jacob Joyberry.
Not jobbery.
Joyberry.
Joyberry. Yep. A state funeral has been offered to the family of AFL legend Lou Richards following his passing yesterday. Is that level okay? Awesome.
Hi and welcome to 1300. I'm your host Jacob Joyberry and joining me today is Tim Winning. Tim, how you doing?
Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Good, thank you. He does Spanish sometimes. Actually looking forward to our show today. It's going to be really good. We've got some stories on Fairfax and how print media has gone downhill in recent times. We've also got information on the state budget, which is being released today, and some special content from a dog show and a history segment featuring mostly real Vikings.
Mostly real Vikings. That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to know this mostly real Viking.
He looks terrifying.
Looks
He's
terrifying.
massive and hairy and ferocious. It's lovely. But first up, I already talked about you one thing. Your thumb. I saw you last week and it was fine. What happened to your thumb, man?
Well, it was a little incident at work.
Yeah.
I was cleaning the blender. You know those really, really big blenders and they have the lids that close down on the top so it doesn't like spill?
I was going to say you didn't stick your thumb in a blender, did you?
No, that would have been a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely.
No, so as I'm cleaning it, there was like a little bit of mess around. I had the lid open just so I could like air dry and I accidentally pushed it back, but I really quickly pushed it back and the whole lid just came slamming down on my thumb.
Oh, wow.
And I tried finishing my shift because I'm like, I can just work through the pain, but I just ended up having to go to I went to my manager. I'm like, I can't even count my till. I just had to I ended up in hospital.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so
Hospital.
so I was like to my manager, I walk in and I'm like, so I hurt my thumb. Can I go to hospital? And she was just
What'd
like,
you say?
she was like, oh my God, what happened? So it was really annoying. I had to fill out an injury report. I had to wait for my friend to come pick me up because I couldn't even drive.
Yeah,
So I had to
wow.
call my friend. He had to take a taxi from Richmond to Greensborough.
That's a huge jump.
And then when I did that, and then he took me to hospital and I was there and I just couldn't be bothered waiting. So they just gave me some painkillers.
Wow.
I went home and then just saw my GP, got an x-ray, and now it's going to be waiting to find out if it's a fracture.
Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So how are you going with uni? Are you looking forward to finishing?
Yeah, I'm really keen. I'm just, looking forward to just finally ending studying after how many years it's been, 15, 16 years of total studying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a long time. We start so early. Now, I'm actually just excited to earn money from... I know we earn 6 figures doing this lovely glamorous job here,
Oh,
but
yes.
journalism isn't all just being pretty on TV. It's the core of it is interview and the writing. And
Well, I think the main part of it for me is looking good.
Oh,
I mean,
obviously.
that's why I'm wearing this. I had to make sure I was the better looking host.
Wow. Well, you're definitely doing a pretty good job. You're looking lovely and spick and span. And then there's just me in this, the fancy casual.
You look okay. Okay, well,
Right, thank you. Well, we're going to head to Marie with the headlines right now. Marie, what have you got for us?
Well, A state funeral has been offered to the family of AFL legend Lou Richards following his passing yesterday. Richards passed away peacefully at his nursing home aged 94. He played a total of 250 games for the Collingwood Football Club, kicking 423 goals during his playing career, and led the team to their 1953 premiership victory against Geelong. Following his playing days, he had a long career in the media, working for the Herald Sun, Channel 7 and Channel 9. Collingwood President Eddie Maguire paid tribute to Richards, saying it was terribly sad for Collingwood, for football and the city of Melbourne. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull and Opposition Leader Bill Shorten both took to Twitter to express their condolences. Collingwood players will honour Richards by wearing black armbands during their match against Greater Western Sydney on Saturday. The clock is counting down to the official release of the 2017-18 federal budget. Treasurer Scott Morrison has told media at Parliament House this morning that he has been listening to frustrated Australians while preparing this budget. Many announcements have been made prior to the official handing down of the budget, with education and health being areas largely invested in. The NDIS is expected to be fully funded beyond 2019, and this is expected to be the centrepiece social policy. University fees will rise by 1.8% this financial year, with an increase of 7.5% to be reached by 2021. Schools will be receiving an extra $18.6 billion over the next decade following a funding shake-up, and the budget will be officially handed down at 7:30 p.m. tonight. Qantas CEO Alan Joyce has had a cream pie smashed into his face during a speech in Perth this morning. Mr. Joyce was the keynote speaker at the West Business Leadership Matters event when a man appeared behind him holding the pie. The man, who appeared to be in his 60s or 70s, grabbed Mr. Joyce from behind and forcefully pushed the pie into his face before walking calmly off stage. It is not known if charges will be laid against the man. French President-elect Emmanuel Macron has told his US counterpart Donald Trump in a telephone call that he will defend the 2015 Paris climate change deal. A spokeswoman told CNN that climate change is a very important issue for the French people. Mr. Trump had phoned to congratulate Mr. Macron to congratulate him on his election victory. The two leaders also discussed issues including the fight against terrorism, transatlantic relations and the economy. The centrist, Mr. Macron, defeated far-right National Front leader Marine Le Pen by 10 million votes. A Victorian paramedic has managed to save his own life after diagnosing an oncoming heart attack. 52-year-old David Watson was working alone at the Casterton branch when he felt a sudden onset of crashing chest pain and tingles down both his arms. He ran out to the ambulance and hooked himself up to a heart monitor. He drove 100 metres to the local emergency department where he was given anti-clotting medication and then flown to Geelong Hospital, and he underwent open heart surgery. Mr. Watson will spend the next 2 months recovering. Reports are emerging from the UK that disgraced Australian entertainer Rolf Harris will be released from prison in just 6 weeks. It is believed that the 87-year-old will rush to the bedside of his sick wife, Alwyn, upon his reported release in mid-June. If he is released, he will have served roughly half of his 5 years, 9 months sentence, which was handed down in 2014, following his convictions of 12 indecent assaults against 4 girls between 1968 and 1986. Harris faces another Crown Court trial over further sex offences on May 15. If he is found guilty of these new offences, he faces extra time in prison. And looking to the weather. So currently in Melbourne, it's 16 degrees with a cloudy day expected. Wednesday, 18 and mostly sunny. Thursday, 18 with a late shower or two. And Friday, 16 and partly cloudy. This is Marie Trevithick for 1300 La Trobe Live.
Thanks, Marie.
No worries.
Right. Now, we were speaking earlier about how you love to look good on TV, and
Yep.
I just want to not look as bad compared to you.
It's a very hard thing to do, to not look that bad next to
You
me.
just keep standing me up, and I don't know why.
Just natural beauty.
Oh, well, unfortunately, just something you're born with, something it's just Timothy has. But we were speaking about how Fairfax has had a bunch of trouble in the last few weeks, and how there's a bunch of rider redundancies, and there's been some strikes going on. We actually have in the studio with us Georgie and Callum to talk about the goings-on at Fairfax. How you going, guys?
Good. How are you guys going?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Enjoying hosting?
Oh, it's how do you do it? It's so stressful.
I do it exactly the way you're doing it, my friend. You're doing it very well.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment.
Must be a little bit weird being on that side of the table today.
No, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Get a bit in, the nitty gritty behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Loving it.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
It's pretty cool.
Now, for those who haven't been across the story, who
Yep.
aren't journalist students like ourselves, concerned for our six-figure
PR
summary.
students.
Or PR students,
Yep.
exactly. All those lovely people out there, we love you and we appreciate you making us look good. Can you explain what the current situation is at Fairfax?
Yeah, definitely. So last week, Fairfax announced a plan to retrench 25% of its print journalism staff.
25%.
25%. So and that was across the Sydney Morning Herald,
Yeah.
The Age, and the Financial Review newspapers. So these papers are all based in either Victoria or New South Wales. So both about these states make up almost 50% of Australia's population. So this, and obviously they reach an extensive audience, and therefore will impede kind of the journalism standards and quantity of journalism that
Yeah.
almost half a population gets daily.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so I guess the question is why have these redundancies been made, and why to a quarter of the staff? And basically, what's to blame, or what the newspapers are saying are to blame, is the natural progression and influence of the internet and social media in our daily lives. I'm sure you guys, I'm not sure when the last time was that I picked up a newspaper other than to do the crossword,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
it's social media like Facebook, Twitter, even, BuzzFeed for those really light-hearted, not newsy news articles.
Yeah.
They're being valued over copy newspapers.
Well, sometimes you just got to figure out what your lipstick colour should be.
Yeah,
What type of copy
yeah.
I am.
BuzzFeed is really helpful to decide what your coffee order says about your personality,
exactly.
or the colour of your soul. I actually got I did a coffee order on BuzzFeed the other day and got Lord Voldemort as my Harry Potter character.
Oh, you don't seem that dark.
And like The Age just can't offer that, but they can offer actual journalism.
They can
So it's Fairfax trying to navigate this new, well, it's not new, it's well established now, and a few arguments is that they were a bit late to the party, to the internet world, and they haven't taken the necessary steps in order to prepare to for both forms and platforms, basically.
Yeah, so you said that like Fairfax is going through they have their few problems, and why are people choosing like these like social media like Facebook over like news companies that have been there for a long time?
I guess because these newspapers are online, and they do have social media pages, so I guess it's convenience. Your phone is always at your fingertips. So whereas I don't know, like I think it's a matter of convenience. You have to go up and not that it's an issue for me, but go down to the news agency, buy the paper or subscribe to the paper, and you can still have to subscribe online. But I think the pull towards social media is that it's entirely accessible and also tailored to your viewpoint as well. The algorithms and your search history tailors what news you get. So you're reinforcing your existing values, and that's quite nice to not be presented with opposing views.
Like I feel like
it's an easy news, news cycle.
Like on social media and online, it feels like that news is finding you rather than
you searching it. Yeah.
So why aren't these newspapers and Fairfax getting enough revenue online? Is this something you can talk about with us?
Well, so online content, typically newspapers have two main sources of content.
Yeah.
One is ad revenue, so from the views they get and the advertisers that pay to have space on their website. And the second is subscription.
Yeah.
In the case of Fairfax, in terms of overall quality, they get a lot of criticism about their online content is poorly edited.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily designed for an online market, so therefore people aren't willing to subscribe for that. And the views that they do get, the free viewers, they're not generating as much revenue from online advertising because most users have ad block.
Yeah, I know I do.
Yeah, I do as
Most of
well.
us have ad block, so...
Yeah.
And typically they've just been behind the ball when tailoring content. So look at, for example, BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
They specifically design their articles to appear on Facebook, on your feed, so 7 ways you might be like a Breaking Bad character or whatever, and sort of mixing that in with more serious stories. An example of a online retailer similar to The Age is Vice.
Yeah.
So they do very well. They capture a younger audience. So they specifically tailor their online content to a younger audience, which Fairfax is missing out on. So most people that read online Fairfax content typically are much older because they can't capture that younger audience online.
Yeah. So the idea of journalism, is it still are newspapers still relevant in like a current day and age? Like, do you guys ever use newspapers? Like,
In our opinion,
like,
yeah.
Are newspapers able to be in our lives as much as they were? Like, are they as prevalent?
Yeah, well, I think it's an interesting question. I remember a few years ago, the same debate was going on about books, print books, and the value with the rise of the Kindle.
Yeah.
Anything in a print form was being questioned if it would survive
Yeah.
this social media era. And I think because of these online destinations for newspapers, there's been a pull towards that. But I think books have survived. Do you know what I mean?
I think,
yeah.
To me, books are entertainment. You get them because you want them.
Yeah.
And with news is every day. You can't I can go and get Harry
exactly.
Potter. My first Harry Potter book I got when I was 7. I
Yeah.
can't go and find that now because it's old. It's like 15 years old.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the interesting thing, although bookstores, like the actual storefronts, have moved online, the product itself hasn't changed. So the physical book, like the physical newspaper, is what you want. But that hasn't died. But I think newspapers are struggling.
Yeah, the thing is with books, they're more accessible to a wider audience as well. So if I'm going to read an online book, I'd need to buy like a Kindle or an iPad, which would be like $200. If I'm like a kid or like a high school student, I might not have that money. But I can go to the newsagents and buy a $20, Harry Potter book and read that.
Yeah. I think, as you said, like books, the stories stay the same. You can read a book 5 times, the story will be the same.
Yeah.
News, if you have your option
ever-changing.
of having the print newspaper, which was printed the night before, or staying on Twitter and Facebook where you're getting hourly, sometimes half-hourly updates.
Yeah.
Which one would you choose? If you want to be well informed and well versed on a topic, you'd want to be getting as much updated information as you can.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time
Thanks,
and
guys.
telling us all about that.
Always good to see you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
So we hope to have you again soon. And you are currently watching 1300. It is live every Tuesday from 1 until 2 at La Trobe. It's currently 1:16 p.m. I'm Tim Winning, joined by my co-host, Jacob Joyberry.
Hello.
And that was Georgia in Callum with a piece on Fairfax Media. You can follow us on Twitter at 13_100 to keep up to date with all of our stories. Be sure to stay tuned. Because coming up we have the Vikings, Meg's Minute, dogs, and of course our lovely politics section. But now we have a very special guest at La Trobe with our very own rapper from the tiny town of Woodstock, showcasing his debut album, also titled Woodstock.
Sounds interesting.
But first, let's watch his new music video, Ferris Bueller. Let's check it out.
Yes, all good. Good amount of headphone. I got no snare in my headphones. Wake up, Saturday, 10 o'clock already. I won't move an inch, no alarm, I'm ready, steady. Go for a snooze, I don't need a button. I get front and doing nothing, but today there's a special something. On my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. For working a week, and I've been trying to earn that paper. I've been slaving, I've been waiting, I've been patient, I've been hating, earning all of this. So I'ma spend it all like I'm not a saver. Where's my parents? No one seems to be around. Got my weed bag sitting on the couch. I can making scrambled eggs with the leather, herbs and spices, like the ones I put inside my lungs that made my convos high end. In my undies, Tom Cruising risky business. Rapping about this random on winner half like sea biscuit. Repeating topics like a remix dear. I don't really give a you know why? You know why? It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. For working a week and I've been trying to earn the paper. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. I'm hungry right now, I'm not waiting for no waiter. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. For working a week and I've been trying to earn the paper. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. I'm hungry right now, I'm not waiting for no waiter. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting any longer. I'm not waiting for the waiter, I'ma raid my fridge. When you got that stoner belly, you were eating nearly everything. You're talking to yourself, you're having random conversations, making things that never mix. You're having random combinations like a fillet of fish. Maybe go and get some chocolate, vitamin C tablet. You're eating all this random you're ravenous, can't handle this just like you're 17 again. At F when it's at you down and then you think we are your friends. We pretend we in the bands with a buttload of cash. We can spend on anything that we like and remember, I'm just stoned on my couch and I haven't even moved like I'm glued to the spot. I can't wiggle around, but I'm loving the sound. Hear my parents roll in and I'm freaking the out. Gotta clear my eyes so they never will know. Wait, they listen to my tracks so they know that I smoke. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. For working all week and I've been trying to earn the paper. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. I'm hungry right now, I'm not waiting for no waiter. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. For working all week and I've been trying to earn the paper. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. I'm hungry right now, I'm not waiting for no waiter. Alright, listen in, I got something really important to tell you. Yeah. If you're drinking or not, put your drink in the air. If you're gonna rock, make sure you're prepared. If you're drinking or not, put your drink in the air. If you're gonna rock, make sure you're prepared. Sadly, rap is a hobby, that ain't no class spitting multis or a degree in battle rap, learning being insulting. If there was a take it, I would study hard and ace it. When I'm getting on my homework, creation can help me. It ain't making me wealthy, but I love what I do. There are other ways that pays that aren't measurable, like pussy, friends and freedom. I just love this life I'm leading, wouldn't change it for the world, even if I had a genie. All three wishes are retarded. I'm an independent artist who is taking over worlds, no matter what the art is. All I need is something to smoke and more rhinos to be chilling at the Ivory Coast. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. For working all week and I've been trying to earn the paper. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. I'm hungry right now, I'm not waiting for no waiter. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. For working all week and I've been trying to earn the paper. It's my day off, oh, yeah, my day off. I'm hungry right now, I'm not waiting for no waiter.
That was a very, very interesting music video.
Thank you.
Loved all the onesies in there and all the different characters.
How'd you get a hold of Walter White?
Oh, he was hard to track down. I mean, since, you know,
He is
all the
the
cancer
danger.
treatment. He is the danger. He's the one who knocks, so
Yeah.
trying to get him was a bit of a nightmare. But
imagine.
got him. Sent him in the post. It was really good to get him.
So your album came out last Thursday. How was
Yes.
the response to it?
Oh, it's been wonderful. It's better than I really expected. People are just... this is my second project I've done. It's first album. The first one, people sort of... They supported me because they like me as a person, but this is the first time I think people actually really enjoy the music. So I'm really just blessed by the response I've been getting from it. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, the music is very good. Like I've listened to a bunch of this stuff. I was unable to make your Saturday show. Could you tell us about your Saturday show?
Oh, that was next level,
It
man.
looked crazy.
We sold out Grumpy's Green. It's in Fitzroy, on Collingwood Street. It's the Melbourne home for hip hop. So I've been to heaps of shows there, and I've played a few shows with not that many people, but to pretty much sell out the venue, and my parents were there as well. So it was, it was just fantastic, and I felt like I really earned the crowd because the first couple of songs, again, they were there to support, but by the end they were really enjoying the show, and I had them bouncing and screaming
awesome.
back the lyrics.
Oh,
So
it felt so good for you.
it was amazing.
Yep. So the album's titled Woodstock. So how did that come about, and what kind of themes are in your album?
Well, it's Woodstock because I've grown up in Woodstock my entire life. It's I think it's an album that really sort of talks about what sort of shaped me as a person. So naming it after sort of where I've come from made the most sense to me. But as for what the themes on the album are, it's very eclectic. It's pretty much anything and everything. I have a song about how much I hate public transport fines and everything, and then I have more serious songs about rural mental health rates and mental health and dating. That's a bit of a theme, honestly. And there's a lot of more fun songs such as Ferris Bueller, which is more just the party vibe that we're going for. So we're trying to get a big range and different
touching
diversity.
on a lot of issues.
Yeah, that was the plan.
It's very relatable for a lot of people, like, constantly, especially people our age, as you said, like relationships and then mental health and partying, and everybody hates those pesky fines.
Oh, dude.
They're the worst.
I'm sure everyone has a bad fine story from public transport.
Yeah, I got mine just in the Latrobe Uni because I was told in my first year you didn't need to actually buy a ticket, and
What?
it's not the case. $80 fine later.
Who told you that?
I don't know, but I think I've sacked them as my advisor. They were wrong. They were very wrong.
So it's not unusual for rappers to have a stage name. How come you don't have one? You just know as Matt Coburn.
Well, I tried a couple of different stage names because
Yeah.
I've been writing music since I was about 16, releasing only the past 2 years, but like everyone, I had some really embarrassing rap names
you
to
tell us
start
a
off with. Oh,
Is it Maddie C?
they never, for the record, Maddie C rap, no, they never actually stuck any of them.
Yeah.
So luckily, thank God, because I didn't want to release under them. I wanted to be, because I loved Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I wanted to go into Dr. Gonzo for like a good 2 weeks. And I think at about year 11, I was like, oh, I'll go into ATM, even though I don't care about money and I've never really worried about those things. So, but I just think that I really make music about my life, and I don't know, it'd feel weird releasing under any other name because it's just me being me on my music, so it makes more sense.
Now, one of our producers, before you leave, he told us that you can rap really, really fast. Can you give us an example of something like
But PG rated,
PG
please.
rated,
Oh,
yes.
PG rated. That's
If you can.
difficult because I'm so used to swearing. I'll try this one. I did it on the Futuristic show in Billboards. I hope I don't swear.
You're counting?
No,
3,
good.
2, 1.
London and racking it, seeing I'm attacking and drinking to death. You can call me Baratheon. Mine is so crazy, so slipping and napping, and you and a half of me. Go, you're a fraction of work that I put in. Hustle, I'm doing. Teacher from Whiplash, I'm really gonna lose it. I go to uni and working, and still I got time for the dream I pursue. I am just cruising, smoking the good. Ask me to freestyle, screw you. I am a rapper, my voice at the history. I'm trying not to swear. It's really difficult. I was so close there.
That was so good, man. That was so
Thank
quick.
you. I'll keep it there because I swear will come out.
Let's try.
Well, thank you. That was
please.
very good. Thank
My
you so
pleasure.
much for coming on the
My
show.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and just before you go, can you tell where people can get your album?
Oh, thank you so much. Well, it's available on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. www.bandcamp.com/Matt Coburn Music. SoundCloud is also /Matt Coburn Music. And if you check my Facebook and all my social media pages, we're going to have physical albums very soon, which are going to be selling at shows and everything. So pick it up. I'd love to hear what you think about it.
Definitely
All right,
keep an eye.
thanks, Matt.
Thank you so much.
Good talking with you, buddy. You're watching 1300 live every Tuesday from 1 till 2 p.m. I'm Jacob Jawberry, and I'm joined by my co-host today, Tim Winning.
Hola.
You can follow us on Twitter at 13_100 to keep up to date with all of our stories. Be sure to stay tuned because coming up we have Vikings, the Good Doggos, and our lovely politics segment. But first, have you seen Get Out?
I have seen Get Out. You know, I watched it with this really weird person that was sitting next to me the entire time last night. And I think they're sitting next to me again.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
that
because
was
we
me.
saw it last night.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, it was good. I enjoyed it. Anyway.
Yeah, what do you think about it? Like, give me...
I liked it. It was a nice thriller. It had like a nice pace. It wasn't your typical horror movie that was, or your typical thriller. It was just something. It was new. It was a fresh idea, and it was very, very relevant with like topics
all the
that are
social
going.
issues going at the
social
moment,
issues
especially in
today.
America.
Yeah, definitely.
I went into it thinking it was a horror movie because I hadn't seen any of the trailers. I just thought, let's see it. And I was scared more by the trailers.
Yeah.
You know, the story itself was amazing. It was so well put together. I thought it was amazing. But I'm sure that Meg can put it together much better than we can because she's our resident movie expert. So welcoming Meg here from Meg's Minute. Thank you for coming in. We love you.
Yeah.
Let's go, Meg.
Well, Get Out is directed and written by Jordan Peele and follows an interracial couple, Rose and Chris, who travel to Rose's childhood home for the weekend to meet her parents. But for Chris, it takes him on an unexpected and horrifying journey. Unfortunately, that's about all the information I can give away without spoiling most of the film because I can guarantee it'll be so much more enjoyable when you go in vague. Even though the film wholeheartedly follows the route of a traditional thriller, where Get Out has gotten audiences buzzing is that it is a film about race, particularly in the American climate at the moment. But it is both an important political statement and yet still uses the conventional horror and thriller genre in a mesmerising way to execute these themes. It is also comedic in parts, which is an area director Jordan Peele is very extensive in, as formerly being one half of the comedy duo Key and Peele. Even with all the social commentary surrounding Get Out and how such an openly political film has cracked the mainstream market, particularly within Australian audiences, the film still entirely leaves you in suspense with a great soundtrack, very conventional cinematography that suits the film well, and great performances, noticeably by lead Daniel Kaluuya. Overall, I give Get Out 5 out of 5 M&Ms. It's an important film that is not only about race, politics, and the current society that we are part of, but also stands as an extremely important horror film on its own.
You got your toothbrush?
Check.
Do you have your deodorant?
Check.
Do you have your cozy clothes?
Got that.
What?
Do they know I'm black?
Should they?
You might wanna,
Mom and Dad, my black boyfriend will be coming up this weekend. I just don't want you to be shocked that he's a black man.
I ain't never seen you like this before, bruh. Meeting families and taking road trips. Don't come back all bougie, man. Come back, got your damn pants up to your damn stomach.
So you guys coming up from the city?
Yeah, we're just heading up for the weekend.
Can I see your license, please?
He wasn't driving.
I didn't ask who was driving. I asked to see his ID.
Call me Dean and you're hungry, my man.
So how long has this been going on, this thing? We hired Georgina and Walter to help care for my parents. When they died, I couldn't bear to let them go.
Do you smoke in front of my daughter?
I'm gonna quit.
She'd take care of that for you.
How?
Hypnosis.
I'm good, actually.
You ready for this?
I'm back in the beat.
So look, I go do my research. Apparently, a whole bunch of brothers been missing in this suburb.
But it's cool.
Bro, how you not scared of this, man?
Good to see another brother around here. Chris was just telling me how he felt much more comfortable with my being here. Get out.
Sorry, man.
Get out! Yo!
Rose, we gotta go.
Is everything okay?
Rose, the keys. Just get the keys.
I don't know where they are.
Rose?
Sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
Mine is a terrible thing to waste. Terrible thing to waste.
If there's too many white people, I get nervous.
No. No. No.
A mine is a terrible thing to waste.
From the fury of the Norsemen, save us, O Lord. These are the Vikings, conquerors who in history have ravaged much of Europe, spanning all the way to the Middle East and even North America. Today we managed to get our hands on one such Norseman. Please welcome Arne of Ribe. Arne, can you please introduce yourself formally to the world?
Well, my name is Arne of Ribe, which is a town in Denmark.
Yes.
I am a trader normally throughout the years, but every season we raid England for plunder and slaves, like this week man here.
Oh.
This weak Christian man.
I feel so sorry for him.
Quiet, slave!
What's his name? What's your slave's name?
I don't care. What's your name?
Eldred. Eldred, can you tell me what you did before being a slave?
I'm a farmer. No one wants to hear that!
Okay.
Well, let's steer away from slave. Arne, can you tell us a little bit about your raid? Where are your weapons? You said you just came from one.
Yes. Well, they would normally be on me, but apparently I lost them when your crew snatched me up and brought me here. I don't know where I am.
Welcome to La Trobe University. We are currently in Bundoora.
In Australia.
In Australia.
You
What is Australia?
You haven't discovered that yet. You'll find out in a couple of 100 years.
Okay.
I hope you live that long. It's a nice place.
It seems hotter than I'm used to.
Yeah, up north is really cold.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you're not raiding? You said you were trading. Obviously not a Viking all year, so tell us a bit about your trading.
I trade salted meats and wool and linen and seal fat up in Ribe around the Fries and England and Ireland. And for fun, I wrestle and I drink. I drink lots.
Oh, I'll say we have that in common.
Yeah, that's a
You like drinking in Australia?
Yeah,
Yes,
drinking
yes,
is a
we
big part
love-
of our culture.
Shut up!
Okay.
We're going to stay away from the drinking talk because maybe Europeans do drink. So what's your town like?
My town, it is big. It is big. There are many ships coming in, long ships, Frisian war ships. It is wonderful. It is a trade town. We are rich and prosperous. and we drink lots. We drink so much. So much to put you Australians to shame.
We'll see about that.
I think we might have to test that out after the show.
Indeed, we drink mead. We skull.
Exactly. Skull.
Okay, I think I'm more of a tequila man myself. But...
Now, skull is what you say when you drink.
No, okay, yeah.
So if life is so nice and you have so many things you can do, like drinking and drinking and wrestling and partying and all that stuff, why do you raid?
Why not?
But
These
why?
farmers, they are weak. They have things I want. Strength and chaos rule our world, and we do it to appease mighty Thor and Odin and Freya. We appease our gods through raiding.
Can you tell us a bit more about your gods? They sound pretty cool.
There is the all Father Odin, and he watches over us and judges us. And every Viking's goal is to die gloriously in battle, so that we may achieve Valhalla.
Every Viking.
Every Viking.
What happens if you die young and can't fight yet? You just don't get Valhalla?
We don't get Valhalla. No, we go to hell.
That can't be fun.
Well, if we get to Valhalla,
that's the good part.
We drink and feast, and then we fight until we die. And then we do it all again in preparation for Ragnarok, which is the end of the world.
That can't be fun. Wait, so
scary.
you die, go to Valhalla, fight some more, die again, and just keep doing it until Ragnarok.
Every day until Ragnarok.
Every
when
day?
it comes.
Wow.
Yes.
What's Ragnarok about? Tell us about that. Like, what's supposed to happen?
Is when Fenrir, the giant wolf, will eat the sun, and there will be no more sky.
What?
And then
okay, that's
the
a lot
world
to take
ends.
in.
Do you not know that's how the sun works?
Really?
I think
that's interesting.
That's a very interesting concept on how the sun works.
Quiet, slave!
Sorry, I didn't mean to draw attention to your person again. So, have you heard of the TV show Vikings?
Vikings?
Yeah, there's a TV show about Vikings where there's Ragnar Lothbrok. I think
Ragnar Lothbrok!
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, do you know him?
I knew him. He was from Uppsala.
Uppsala, okay.
That is a religious site in Scandinavia.
Oh, okay. Do you share land with these people or nearby them? Like, how do you know him?
It's sort of nearby. Well, I am part of the army that invaded England after his death.
Oh,
so
you
I'm
never
good.
met
I'm
him.
glad to see him back doing a what do you call it? It's a
TV show.
It's
like,
a TV show.
Yeah, we've got cameras in the background here. You see those cameras?
Yes.
It's those, but bigger, and people go and do things on camera. Like, they wrestle on camera for entertainment.
They wrestle on. Do they drink on camera?
They do, and then they raid.
They raid.
They do. They raided Paris in the show.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Paris looked amazing.
I wasn't a part of that.
That's unfortunate.
I was too young.
You would have had a fun time. It looked great. So you're a Viking, though. Everyone sees the big Vikings with the big horns. Like
horns?
Yeah, horns. Why doesn't your helmet have horns? Everyone today thinks Vikings have horns on their helmets.
Why would my helmet have horns?
For ferociousness, obviously.
No. This is scary enough. Look, scary.
Can I touch it?
No, don't touch it. Quiet, slaves.
No touching of the armor.
All right. Yeah. So I am sorry to have offended.
But you cannot have horns on it. It doesn't work.
Why not?
Because it's too heavy and it gets in the way, and then you stand next to your friend in the shield wall and you poke their eye out.
Fair enough. I was going to say you would want to, because you're obviously big and strong, tall, massive Viking. Extra weight shouldn't be a problem for you, but poking your friend's eye out would suck.
Yes,
I can see how it's detrimental to your shield wall.
Yes.
So, what other fighting styles do you have? Like, you've got your shield wall.
We
Is
have
there
our
anything else
shield
you do?
wall, which is
Yeah.
where we make a wall of our shields.
Yeah.
And I charge into battle with a long axe that reaches up very tall.
Ooh.
And it cleaves it cleaves their heads from their bodies.
Oh, okay. That's gruesome, dude.
Yes.
That's gruesome.
Yes, battle is.
When did you start raiding? Like, when did you
I
personally
started
start
raiding
it?
when I was 15.
15, that's young.
We raided the Finns up to the... hold on, I don't have a map.
We can find
up
you
to
one.
the east.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are weak. The Slavics are weak.
So is anyone not weak compared to you?
Compared to me, no.
Yeah, so everyone is weak compared to the Vikings.
Yes.
Specifically you.
We have conquered England. We have conquered the slave.
True, you do have spoils of war right next to you.
Yes. I will make him shovel manure for 3 seasons.
3 whole seasons.
Quiet, slave!
What else do your slaves do around your village? Because I'm assuming you take more than just one.
Well, Depends on how lucky you are. We take slaves for farming, for making clothes. We take boat slaves. They row the boats.
Okay, that'd be useful.
Slaves do whatever we don't want to do. You should get one. They're fun.
I don't think we're allowed to do that in this day and age. Slavery is kind of outlawed in Australia.
You can't take my slave.
I don't want your slave. We're not allowed to have your slave.
Am I allowed to have my slave?
No. Not here, you're not.
No!
Well, I guess we can't argue.
You will take me back, and I can have my slave.
Should we actually call some? Should we actually do something about this?
You will not. No, don't.
I don't really want to get between him. He's got a knife.
Yeah. No. You're more than welcome to have your slave. I'm sure there is someone else in the tech that we can have as an offering for peace.
James is quite strong, able-bodied. Yeah. You can have him.
Who's James?
James,
one of our tech. Just one of our tech people.
He's
working on sound.
He wouldn't last.
Wouldn't last?
No.
We have strong people in Australia. What do you mean?
I haven't seen any yet.
James,
look at those arms. They would not last.
I'm sorry, James. I tried. Oh my god. Well, it's always good to talk to a bloodthirsty Viking, but I prefer something a bit smaller, a bit less hairy, and a bit less prone to pillaging my village, because I like my village. It's quite a nice village.
What is your village?
My village is Bendigo. North, east, no, northwest.
Bendigo.
Yeah, Bendigo. Yeah. We do have to thank you for coming, travelling all this way, and I'm so sorry we inconvenienced your slave. He seems very terrified.
Ragnarok, go to Valhalla! You die by stake! Shut up! You shut up! See what you made me do. Now my slave is...
Okay,
Okay. Well, that was a first on... Okay, yeah.
I'm thoroughly scarred now.
Can we just talk about something happier?
Yeah, let's move on to something less murderous. Dogs. Dogs. Rachel,
I love dogs.
Yeah, dogs are amazing.
Good.
I love dogs. My mum has a dog. It's a little Maltese Shih Tzu, lovely, cute white thing called Tilla.
Aww.
Yeah, she's called Pookie Pock. That's what her nickname is, and
That's
I don't know why. It's just what happens. It's what people do. So Rachel and Callum went out to have a look at a Dogs Lovers Festival over the weekend.
I heard about that. I so badly wanted to go.
I saw a bunch of photos,
dogs.
and there's so many cute. There was like a dog in a throne, like a Samoyed. You know, the Samoyeds are big white fluffy cloud things. It was actually the cutest thing ever.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
Oh man, so we're gonna have sorry. I'm just a bit nervous from the Viking. He's still here.
Yes.
So we're going to go have a look at that. We're going to find out who is the actual best good boy.
My name's Callum.
And my name's Rachel.
And we're here at the Melbourne Dog Lovers Show. Why are we here?
Well, today, Callum, we'll be interviewing some of the talent and we'll be asking all of the hard-hitting questions.
Oh, look how adorable he is. We've only been here for 10 seconds and we've already lost Rachel. I have no idea where she's gone. Rachel is already lost. Oh, wait, there she is.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Here at La Trobe, we ask all of the hard-hitting questions. Jack, who's a good boy? I think he's a good boy. And we're still trying to find the answer to our question. Leo, who's a good boy? We may not have found the goodest boy yet, but I certainly have found the prettiest girl. You a good girl? Oh. I have two.
So easily distracted by all these dogs. Can you answer me this difficult question? Are you a good boy?
Definitely adorable.
So Callum, we've had a great day at the Dog Lovers Show. What did you think?
I've had a wonderful time. We met many different breed of a dog. How did you find them?
Well, we did a lot of interviews with many different handsome dogs and pretty ones as well. We saw a few with bows, but we've conducted a lot of research and we've come to the conclusion that they are all good boys.
Yes, very good.
This has been Rachel Simmons and Callum Wisson reporting for 1300.
I am just so happy we got to see all of those little good boys.
It's definitely a much lighter and more pleasant experience than the Vikings.
Just wanted to boop all their snoots.
Yeah, reminds me of like those memes on Facebook, like boop them on the snoot and like the heck and the darn and the pugs.
Yeah, doing me a heckin'. I
so funny.
love me some doggo memes.
They're the best.
Oh, you remember on Please Explain last week how we had Marie and Sheridan come in and talk to us about the state budget?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this week on Please Explain, Marie and Sheridan will be unpacking the Victorian state budget with a youth focus, as well as looking at the federal budget released this evening.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you have for us today?
So from the state budget, we know that education is a big winner here.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind that tertiary education is a federal issue, so we'll be leaving that next. So the Andrews Labor government is actually investing a further $1.3 billion into the Victorian school system, and they seem to be focusing a lot on helping disadvantaged, whether disability or whether they're from a non-English speaking background, which I think is really good. They're allocating $58.4 million to provide school support for disability, $19.5 million for English learning if a student is new to Australia, $50.7 million for extra help to struggling schools, and a whole lot more.
That's great, because we know that Victoria is growing and the school system is stretching and reaching its limit. Can you tell us what they're going to be doing about that limit?
Yeah, so you're right. The Victorian system has to accommodate for a lot of students, and that problem is only going to get worse in the future unless the government does something about it. So the state government is putting $685 million towards building new schools and upgrading existing schools, which is roughly half of the total education spending in the state budget.
It's a fair portion.
Pardon?
It's a fair portion. It's a large amount.
Yeah. It's quite a large amount. $269.9 million is for constructing, planning, and buying land for new schools.
Mm-hmm.
They will start construction on 13 of them, I believe, in this financial year, and planning for 10 more, both primary and secondary. And they're also spending $239.6 million on upgrading schools around Victoria. 53 were listed in the state budget paper, and 4 of them were for special schools, which is really nice.
That's great. Like other like problems that like people like face in this state happen to be like public transport. Like it's so annoying, you know. Things always late. Like what a
I feel that.
Yeah,
especially for me and my trams.
Yeah, I think you're always late. I think a tram is always late. Now, what kind of thing are the government doing for like to improve our public transport?
Well, if I can get my notes back up. So basically, they're yet to reveal wrong section. Yay, go me.
Live TV, guys.
The government is investing a lot of money in public transport across both regional and metro areas.
Mm-hmm.
So they're dedicating $879.5 million to the metro public transport system. And that includes $218.1 million for 10 new E-Class trams.
Mm-hmm.
And also $62.5 million to improve the train, tram and bus network, making sure it is in fact running on time, as there's been a lot of issues before.
Yeah, definitely. So I remember they were trying the 24-hour public transport weekend. Are they going to plan on keeping that, or is that being scrapped?
So the trial was really successful, and they are in fact going to keep that.
That's good.
So they invested $193.2 million in the last financial year, and over the next 4-year period, they do intend to keep that program running.
That's good.
That's really good. Like it's always good for like a night out to make sure that there's like a safe way to get home.
And hopefully Jacob's tram will be on time after this.
I'll be able to make the
Fingers
Thursday
crossed.
meeting for once.
Fingers crossed. No
Fingers
promises.
So the government is also releasing the federal budget later on today. And last week you were reporting they would make a big announcement about education. Have they made that announcement?
Yes, they have. So the federal government is planning to increase funding to education by $19 billion over the next decade, so up until the year 2027. Yes, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
Just can you give me a fraction of that, please?
That would be nice. It will pay off my HECS debt.
Definitely.
So they're calling it Gonski 2.0, which is obviously a subtle dig at the Labor initiative of the same name. So businessman David Gonski, who wrote a report for the Labor government in 2011, is writing a new report into the school system for the Turnbull government, and it's due at the end of the year. 24 Catholic and independent schools are set to have their funding cut, which they're not very happy about.
I can imagine. Something else that's really relevant to youth and the welfare is Centrelink. So has there been any change in that area?
So they're yet to reveal much about the change to welfare in this year's budget. So what we know so far is that the government's going to get tough on people who fail to meet their job-seeking obligation through Centrelink. We don't yet know what the punishment exactly is going to be, but obviously we'll find out tonight when it's announced. We're also expecting the government to fund another trial of the cashless welfare card system. So basically they can't use it to buy alcohol, gamble, etc.
Yeah. Just make sure it's be used for stuff at home, like
Yeah,
bills and things.
exactly.
So more and more young people are getting more concerned about buying a house. Is the government doing anything to tackle housing affordability?
Yeah, well, you are right. I suppose most of us are entering the housing market soon, so housing affordability is a pretty big concern at the moment. So the federal government, they've been a bit quiet about how they're going to address this fully in the federal budget. They've said that they may offer older people an incentive to downsize their homes so it frees up more room for young families, as well as an incentive for first home buyers to save. I hope they bring back the first home buyers grant. That would be nice for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're also suggesting for people to take money from their superannuation for a housing deposit, but this was a widely unpopular move. Because one, how much money do you have in your superannuation when you're young anyway?
Yeah,
I know I have next to nothing.
Yeah, me too.
And two, that would obviously then leave less money for a person's retirement and end up costing the government more in pension in the long run. So it's not a very good policy.
Yeah, it seems a little bit shaky at some points. So education is a big concern for young people as well. So how is the government planning on changing that during the federal budget?
So basically, the university funding is a big one. So basically, they're going to revamp their unpopular measure from the 2014 budget. So that's kind of the major one. They're kind of changing that up because obviously, mass protests and all sorts of things occurred.
There's been a bit of an outcry.
Yeah, just a little bit. And they're also reducing the repayment threshold from $55,000 to $42,000. So...
That's quite a significant difference when you think about the cost of living, paying rent, paying a mortgage, groceries, everything else. Like, it doesn't really leave much at the end of the day.
Not at all, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, and so the course cost is also going to increase by 7.5% progressively over the next few years, and that will add up to $3,600 more onto the cost of your degree potentially, which is quite a significant amount of money.
So when you said progressively, do you mean that percent per year, so equaling that money per year you study, or just 3,600 total?
Sorry, I should explain it. 7.5% in total, but progressively 1 or 2% per year over the next few years.
So it's going up 1.8% this financial year, and then it ultimately goes up each
to
year
a total
until
of 7.5%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess the longer courses are punished more for that one?
Yeah, and so a medical degree will actually cost approximately $71,900, which is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. So basically people are punished for trying to help people now because it requires a lot more time for you to study to learn to become a doctor than, for example, to do a 1-year diploma.
It could be up to several years to study medicine.
Yeah.
So I think if I was a doctor, I would potentially have to sell an organ to repay for my eggs.
You want a kidney? Want a kidney?
Could be a really good plot for Get Out 2, a new horror movie.
That is very true. On the plus side, at least you learn how to remove it and surgically do it back up properly without infection.
That's true.
True.
Yeah,
True.
that's
Nice little
true.
anatomy class at the same time.
Yeah.
So the federal budget is releasing today. Can you give us any more information when people are expecting to find out news about that coming out?
So the federal budget will be released at approximately 7:30 p.m. tonight when Treasurer Scott Morrison makes his speech before the Parliament. Some other things we know is that the government will be funding a second airport in Sydney at Badgerys Creek.
Do you know why they're doing that? Just for people living there, or
Yeah, I think it's mainly to stop overload at the current Sydney airport.
There's quite a lot of congestion.
Really busy.
Yeah, I've been there a lot of times, and it
So
does
just kind
get
of spreading
really
it out over the two sites. Yeah,
It's almost any flight that's sort of going in and out of Australia just always seems to just go to Sydney. It's becoming a massive overload. So
I know, and they're also planning to build an in-rail rail project from Brisbane to Melbourne at some point, as well as contributing approximately $350 million to veterans' mental health, which I think is really good, as well as another $100 million to the manufacturing sector in Australia.
Well, that's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much for talking with us about the budget
That's
today.
okay.
You're always so insightful because we clearly have no idea about politics.
Thank you for
and
having
you
us
are-
again.
And what's the budget speech tonight?
Yes.
If you want to
Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah,
All right.
popcorn, everything.
soda, yeah, that sounds good.
Know the
Definitely.
voice tonight. It's budget
budget
time.
time.
Budget,
Budget
yeah.
party. Have a budget party, guys. You know, get all your friends around. What's a budget?
Yeah,
Woohoo!
we'll
That's what I'll be
get all
doing.
the crew to come in.
Yeah, we gotta all go to Jacob's house.
I do live nearby. I'm sorry, my girlfriend Shay. I love you. We're having friends over tonight. hopefully she's still watching. She said she was going to. Well, thanks everyone for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Again, I'm Jacob Jobury, and I'm joined by my host Tim Winning for 1300. You can catch us every week at 1 p.m. and follow us on social media at 13_100 for updates on upcoming shows. You can also see big major updates and stories we've already done throughout the week in the Agora. Thanks again to our producers Jake and Rachel. We love you. And our tech team, Tiff, Madison, and James. I'm so sorry about auctioning you off to a Viking. I do love you. And of course, for you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.